Well, today is we've got a lot of ground to cover. I'm very excited about all the things we're going to talk about. I'm mainly excited about having Misty Newcomb back on the podcast.
No doubt.
After a long time.
I thought she got
gone.
fired
in a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors that go around that people get fired from the render. Only like 4 people have ever been fired from the render. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. No one laughed. No one's ever been fired from the render.
I was curious enough. I was one of them, but I just didn't know yet.
No one's ever been fired for the render. Just people come in and out of availability. Things happen, and they just, like Malachi Nichols. I bet most people don't even remember maybe who Malachi was, but he was an original render cast member.
Yep.
And he was with us for
on one of the very early Bear Grease episodes.
Yeah. And basically, like just his job and the amount of time it took to come down in the middle of the day, he just couldn't come. So Misty's not been fired. She's just been busy. She's been doing stuff. So great to have you back.
Good to be
We got to
here.
Have Gary, the Believer Newcomb, back on sometime as well.
Oh, I thought he got fired.
Well, Dad may have been fired, but we'll rehire him. We got Josh, we got Bear John here.
Yep.
But in the Tecovas hot seat.
Ayo.
Tacovas hot seat.
We have a new delineation that we're going to put all our special guests in, which is what we're going to call the Tecovas hot seat. And in case you don't know, I wear Tecovas every single day of my life. John Mesco, my dad's, the Believer's, one of the Believer's best friends, John Mesco. All as a kid, John Mesco wore cowboy boots. And I remember him telling me that cowboy boots are the most comfortable shoes in the world if you break them in. And I find that to be true. My feet get claustrophobic when I tie shoes. I can pop these shoes off and not even break eye contact. And I can put them back on.
What does that even mean? What does it even mean to
Look at
not
that.
break eye contact?
Like in case you need to get in bed in a hurry, or
I'm a boot man, and that's why I'm very proud that Tecovas Boots out of Austin, Texas, is our new. They're coming along on the Bear Grease Roadshow with us.
That's right.
And so we have a chair now for our special guest, and my friend Michael Lanier is in the Tecovas hot seat tonight. And if you're listening and not watching, you would see that this rocking chair actually has a pair of Tecovas boots on it.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
So
Pretty impressive. Work of art.
Michael has been introduced many times as my Jedi Master Squirrel Sensei.
is that the title you most appreciate? Is that on your business card? Is that top of the list?
Yeah, actually, our office lady got me a business card holder with a squirrel coming out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. So you're an electrician by trade. Mm-hmm. But Michael helped me get into the squirrel world, and so he's my Jedi Master Squirrel Sensei.
I wonder if we should clarify what the squirrel world that you've gotten into is.
It's real clear. A squirrel has a lot of value to me and Michael when it's being treed by a dog.
There we go.
Somebody the other day asked me, they said something about going squirrel hunting, and I was like, you bet. And they were like, yeah, we'll take some scope 22s and just kind of slip hunt around. No. And I kind of looked at him, and I was kind of like, dang, man, you know what? I probably can't go. I'm double booked. Like, a squirrel has value to me when it's being treated by a dog. I value the life of the squirrel and his nobility in wild places. But when he's in my hand, it only means something if he's been treated by a dog. Do you understand?
I agree. Yep.
Sensei, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so big squirrel dog man. Now, right now, tell me about your dog situation right now, though, Michael.
It's pretty bleak.
Okay.
Got 2 young dogs at the house. Haven't hardly hunted them. They'll be a year old this spring. They're barking at yard squirrels, and that's about all they know.
Yeah. But you go through a lot of squirrel dogs.
Yes.
You sell. Michael's one of these guys. Like, I've known him to sell a dog, but I've also known him to just kind of hand them off to people.
I don't mind giving a dog away to a friend if I that I get to hunt with later on.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, I think that I could keep you in business with the amount of people coming to me and Bear looking for squirrel dogs.
Yeah, I'm out.
You're out.
Yeah, no. I already have a long line, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
So, yep. Well,
Another failed business adventure.
Shucks.
yeah. Well, we're going to talk on this episode about mules. This is the mule episode. But before we talk about mules, there's many things we got to talk about. First of all, in mid-February, this is a massive announcement. In mid-February, Bear John Newcomb is going to be the primary host of a new YouTube channel.
All right.
What?
Yes.
Let's go.
So what was formerly known as the Bear Hunting Magazine YouTube channel is going to be the beargrease YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to produce weekly content. It's going to be a whole lot of Bear going out. It's going to be YouTube native content. Bear's been gathering content for 6 months. What's some of the stuff that'll be on the channel, Bear?
Well, we've got some squirrel hunting. We've got a lot of self bow hunts. We've got an elk hunt. A lot of bow making content. We've got a hawk trapping and training video. I went with my buddy to South Texas and we trapped hawks and then trained them to hunt. So yeah, a lot of up front. We're gonna have a lot of hunts, a lot of self bow stuff. But as we go, it'll get more and more diverse.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be super exciting for Bear, and I'll be on the channel some too. Brent will be as well. It's going to be all things bear grease, but like in a YouTube style channel. So it's going to be really great.
I'm excited.
Yeah. It's going to be good. Anything you want to say about that, Misty?
Wow. No.
Okay. Moving on.
Thanks
I
for
mentioned
the offer.
last render that I killed a big buck, and this is him.
That thing is awesome.
Yeah, I mentioned it. I had to show it off.
And the buck has a name?
Yeah, this is Jimminy Christmas. Jimminy Christmas showed up on Christmas Day, and hunting over. I was hunting in Oklahoma, and hunting over supplemental feed. He showed up on Christmas Day. Never seen the buck before in my life, and it's bow season over there till January 15th. And man, big deer are hard to kill over feed. I don't care who you are. If you've never done it, you just don't know how hard they are to kill over feed because you've concentrated all the activity to one spot, and the deer are super leery of stuff like that. And anyway, this deer showed up, and he was very sporadic. He only came in like 2 times during the daytime when I wasn't there. And but I hunted him for a total, I think, of 4.5 days. And on this place I hunt in Oklahoma, when I go down there, I have to camp, and it's just a cool place. But this deer has this tine right here is 14 6/8 inches long, which is a really big tine just for a deer. He's only 14.5 inches wide though, so he's really narrow.
It's an impressive rack, man.
What did he score?
Scored 162 6/8. We actually thought he would score 170.
Yeah,
Like
he looks like a.
Well, just in pictures and video, and he wasn't a big bodied deer. Like when you're judging deer off trail camera pictures, like if the deer is in Kansas, or if you know that, oh, that's a 220-pound deer, and his rack still looks that big, you would.
Right.
This deer on a 250-pound deer this rack on a 250-pound deer would look entirely different than this rack on a 160 to 170-pound deer.
It's basically the opposite of people on TV. The camera subtracts 10 pounds. Is that what you're trying to say? On a trail cam? When you look at a deer, the
well,
camera
no.
subtracts 10 pounds.
The camera adds 10 pounds, 10 inches.
Okay.
Yeah,
The camera
yeah.
adds
In
10
this
inches.
case.
Yeah. So we knew my friend Forrest Teeter, who's the one who named him Jimminy Christmas. I texted him and he said, Jimminy Christmas. He about nailed it. I was a little
Really?
mad. I was a little upset with him because he was under. I said, what do you think that deer scores? And he said 158. And I was just like, oh, Forrest, come on. It's bigger than that. My friend Jordan Blissett, who's a very good whitetail man.
What did Jordan say?
Jordan had him figured at between 155 and 168.
Well, that's
But
a pretty
broad
broad
range.
range.
I mean, 3 inches, is that broad? I thought I was pretty.
155 and 168.
I'm sorry, 165 and
Okay.
168.
I thought it was 165.
But I kind of talked Jordan into. I mean, by the time it was done, we were like, man, that deer probably scored 170. I said it to several guys that were like, that's a 170-inch deer. And I was like, I think it is. And when I measured, I knew by the first measurement, I would know if it was going to score 170. When I measured that main beam, if that main beam was over 25 inches, I felt like it was going to score 170. And the first main beam that I measured was 23 and 6/8 or something. And I kind of went, I bet he won't score it. But it's not like it matters. This is the biggest deer I've killed in 19 years. And I was like, just ecstatic.
Yeah.
What a killing a big deer that you're hunting and after and just means something to you is pretty astonishing. The way it makes you feel. I don't understand it. I still don't understand it. I'm 46 years old. I don't understand it, but it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's that buck. Yep. So that brings up the next thing we've got to talk about is Michael Lanier texted me the other day. Michael's also a mule man, squirrel dog man, but mule man as well. And he said, what do you think my mule Willard is worth?
Oh.
That's a trick
Is
question.
that like
That
scoring
is-
a deer?
Yeah.
Well, you could offend somebody.
It's kind of like
Am
asking
I right,
someone.
Michael? What if I'd have come back and said, oh, Michael, that mule's worth $7,500.
I had a guy tell me that. I did.
Are you still friends?
We're still friends, but I don't believe him.
It would have been offensive. So I never answered Michael. I just said,
I noticed that. Yeah.
I because just like Forrest Teeter shorted me 4 inches,
Yeah.
and I just assumed that meant he didn't like me as a man.
Right.
This is what I was going to say to you, and I wanted to have this conversation in person, is that what a mule's worth and what you can actually get for it are two very different things. Because in some markets, like if you had the choice of markets, I would say there's a day when that mule would bring 20 grand. And you might say there's a day that he would bring 30. Mm-hmm. But I say there's also a day, most days, he might bring less than that. It's all about the market. Like if the market is just people like right here within an hour and a half of us, it's less. If the market is America, it's more. But how do you reach America?
So what market are we on today?
We're in the American market.
Perfect.
What you guys don't know yet is we're actually going to bring Willard in here in a minute. And we're going to look
We're going to
over.
auction them off.
But tell me what
No auction. No.
do you think he's worth? Tell
mean,
us about, give us his stats.
I got a number in my head that I wouldn't take any less for him. I'd just keep him.
Okay.
Yeah. I like him. He's 14.3, 9 years old, horse mule, John Mule.
Male.
Yeah. Got a lot of go, good in rough country. You can shoot off of him. Dogs can crawl all over him. They don't bother him.
Carry a hog.
Yep.
Real pretty. It's a Palomino
Yeah,
mule,
he's
built
pretty.
really well, muscled out nice,
Got a good
feet.
butt.
Yeah.
Yep.
14.3, so a hand is 4 inches, and so 14.3 is like 57 inches or something. I can't do the math.
59?
Is it 59?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's in the prime height for a mule for selling
Okay.
in today's market is going to be between 14.2 and 15, maybe 15.1. Sometimes out west they want a mule a little taller. Around here they don't as much. But I would say 14.3 is like
The
El
sweet
Primo
spot.
height.
I'd
What do
say
you think?
14.2.
You think he's a little tall?
No, I mean I like him, but I'd say 14.2. If you were to ask most folks, they'd say I like that height.
Here.
Or maybe that's just me. But
Yeah.
How long have you had him?
3-4 years, maybe 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look at some pictures.
He's a really sharp looking mule.
Yeah, great looking.
Well, are you going to tell us what you want for the mule?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what. Let's go ahead and bring him in, and then we'll talk about it. So, let's go get him.
Okay.
Don't let Tebow run between his legs. Okay, Michael, tell us about this mule.
Well, he's 14.3, 9 years old. Horse mule, John mule. You can shoot off of him. Dogs don't bother him. Backs out of a trailer good. Got a good stop.
Safe.
He's safe, but he's got a lot of go. Like
Yeah.
he's ready to go. I wouldn't
Yeah.
put grandma on him at all. You know.
He's got a really beautiful conformation, like
Yep.
top end conformation. He's got a nice small head. Sometimes the mules get really big heads. He's kind of got a head like a horse. He's that palomino color, which is really sought after, and just got like good muscle tone, big shoulders, nice withers. So the withers is the basically the top of the shoulder right there, and mules typically have small shoulders and no withers, so the saddle slides forward. I'd say he's got really good withers. And so you're going to have less trouble with your saddle sliding forward with him, but just like super athletic. He'll jump up on rocks and rock crawl and do all kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you like to get your picture taken on a rock, he's your mule.
Yep.
He'll back out of a trailer good.
You shoot a 44 Magnum off of him.
Yep, he'll lope right off. He's got a nice slow lope to him.
But he's got a lot of energy, which is good. I mean, like there's a version of a mule where one is just kind of a deadhead, where I mean you'd just be like prodding it to go. It'd be super safe, but it'd just be trudging along. This mule is like a quarter horse. I mean, he's wanting to go. Where you point him, he's going to go.
Yep.
So that's why you said, would you put a kid on this mule? You absolutely could put a kid on that mule, but it's not like the mule's going to buck the kid off. But this mule is gonna. It's like putting a kid behind a Corvette.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, your kid could drive the Corvette, but I mean, he might give it the spurs and. Phew.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably a decent analogy, huh?
Yeah, you don't have to stay in him for him to keep up with everybody.
Yeah.
And 9 years old is about when they're in their prime.
Like the working life of that mule is going to be, I'd say, at least 25 years. It'll live longer than that, most likely. The working life. I was in Utah with Clay Newcomb a month ago, and we rode a mule 80 miles through super rough country. Last day, I asked him, I said, how old is that mule? He said, 25 years old.
Wow.
For real.
Wow.
So before, I mean, from like 6 to 9 years old is like prime selling age. Like this is a young mule. Like this mule is just now coming into his prime, I would say.
Yep.
And this mule's been squirrel hunted off of a ton, which is, squirrel hunting's good for him. I mean, just a lot of activity, a lot of dogs, a lot of shooting, a lot of yelling, a lot of hooping and hollering, people. So, somebody could buy this mule. We got to figure out how they can contact us. But, I mean, this mule is for sale. If you want a top-end going Arkansas dadgum mule, this is your mule.
Yep.
And it ain't going to be cheap.
It is not going to be cheap. No.
What?
And I would say if you've never rode a mule, never owned a mule, and say, I want to buy this mule, be my first mule, don't.
Yeah, that's right. This is not a beginner mule.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this mule is for somebody who's really wanting to go, really wanting to use them, wanting a top end mule. And I've ridden with this mule. I would put my full weight behind anything Michael says. I've ridden with this mule a lot. Mm-hmm. What would you take for it?
15.
15.
Yep.
Dude,
I want 15,000 for him.
I wish he would have talked to me before he said that.
Yeah, I was thinking
he could get a lot more than that.
Yeah, I was actually I'm shocked at that number.
I'm good with 15. Yeah.
We'll take 20 for the mule. Okay? Yeah. Contact me directly. No, I think you'll sell that mule all day anywhere in the country for 15.
Whoever wants to buy him, if somebody was wanting to buy him, they need to come ride him. We just need to go riding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's beautiful. He really is. He's a top-notch mule. Willard is his name.
Willard. Yep.
Willard. Well, awesome.
He's kind of a messy eater.
He's a little bit of a messy eater.
He is, yeah. Yeah. His teeth were floated last year, so.
Maybe we need to do a Tecovas mule sale on the podcast.
Bring in a mule every episode.
Well, maybe not every episode, but for real, Michael, I actually thought you were going to say I'd take $23,000 for this mule.
No.
Okay. You sell that mule all day for 15. But it's to the right people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to somebody that's an outfitter that's wanting something really to go. These guys around here that hog hunt on mules, that really want to go in a working animal. Mm-hmm. I mean, that mule would just be as good as they make. But yeah, he's beautiful. Well, okay, so Josh, how can people get in touch with us? Let's give them an email. Tebow, don't let Tebow run out through that mule's legs while it's in. Bad puppy, get back. We got another dog coming in here. Get back, dog. Sorry, we got a dog trying to come in behind this mule. Send your queries to josh@themeateater.com, and he will get you in touch with Michael Lanier. Okay, so you don't think your wife's going to be happy about this?
No, she will not.
Why?
Because she feels like I'll regret selling that mule, which she's probably right. I mean,
Yeah.
I will have some regret. He's a good mule.
Why are you selling the mule? So if I didn't know you, I'd say, why are you selling the mule?
Because I want to buy another mule, a younger mare mule, to start riding it. I've got another mule I just bought back in May, and I've been riding her a lot. I haven't rode him since, I don't know when, 4 or 5 months maybe. Yeah, I just don't feel like I'm going to ride him.
You did, right? You have ridden him since then. Didn't you
No.
take him squirrel hunting the other day?
No, I rode my new mule, Phyllis.
Okay.
Yeah, I rode her like 6 out of 8 days.
Good mule name.
Well, what did you ride the other days?
We rode hunting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you rode him.
6 out of 8 days that I was riding mules.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so it's not like she likes Willard. She just thinks you're going to regret selling him.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But
Like
I mean,
they just got my kids got me a black and white picture of him to hang up in the new house for Christmas.
oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just kind of, he's been around a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bear? You think you should sell it?
I mean, it sounds like it might be the move if you can't, if you don't have the time to ride a bunch of mules.
Well, Michael's kind of an animal. He's kind of he moves through a lot of animals.
I do.
And they're always good. There's some people that move through animals that you're like, you don't want to get something from him. Michael's not that guy. Michael's moving through stuff just because he loves them. And he's kind of shuffling dogs around to different people and training dogs and different stuff. And I kind of feel like this is partly why I brought you here. I feel like just kind of, psychologically, you're just kind of you've used up Willard. Okay, in your heart.
I would
it's-
say
There's
that.
no
It's
space.
just-
There's no space in your heart for Willard.
Well, I
anymore.
mean, you've had him. You know what he can do, and you're just ready to move on.
Is it a midlife crisis that you're trying to get a younger model?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No, the mule I'm riding now is 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there is something to be said for riding a mule like Izzy. Like when I get on Izzy, who I've now had for 9 years or so, it loses some of the excitement. Now, there's a satisfaction that comes from just a animal that you just know what's going to happen.
Right.
But half of the fun of riding a mule is training it, seeing it develop, seeing it grow, and a little bit of that just uncertainty even.
Right.
And so when you have one that you just know what's going to happen, you're less likely to just run out there and saddle it up and ride around. I mean, so I'm the same way. I like to have one up and coming, not all the time, but a fair bit of the time.
Michael, did you grow up riding mules?
Horses.
Horses.
I got into mules. When was it? When did you make that $100 squirrel hunt?
$100 squirrel video would have been like 2016.
So I probably started riding mules in 2015.
Okay.
Year before that.
Yeah.
How many mules do you think you've owned since then?
See, I got 3 now. Probably 6, 7.
Okay. So it's not like you've just cycled through 30 mules.
No.
Some of them came and went really quick. They're pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is a really nice mule.
That is a nice
very
mule.
nice mule for sure. Bear's been training his mule,
Yep. Slow trap.
old slow trap.
I'm about this week. I'm gonna try and shoot off of him for the first time.
Yeah, we're gonna go hunt. We're gonna go hunt. Try to take it on his first big squirrel hunt. Well, that brings up. Let's talk about this episode. So when I first started Bear Grease, I wrote out 26 potential Bear Grease episodes with the intent to mock out a year of Bear Grease, because the Bear Grease proper documentary comes out, every 2 weeks, so 26 a year. And on the list, high on the list, was a mule episode with Tai Evans 5 years ago.
Wow.
I actually talked to Tai on the phone 5 years ago, and we were like going back and forth on how to record with him. I mean, I was just that close to pulling the trigger, and there was some issues. Well, we just couldn't. I couldn't go up there at that moment, and so this has been in the works for a long time. Ty and I went and mountain lion hunted with Clay Newcomb in Utah in December. So I was with Ty for a week up there. And in that week, on the episode, Ty said that we had ridden 68 miles. We actually ended up riding over 80. Not counting it's hard to describe, but he talked about he ponied some mules for a ways like that I wasn't with him. That's the reason he was saying he had a few more miles than me, which was true. But by the time we got done, we actually rode 80 miles in 5 days. And it was
miles.
Oh my goodness, it was a lot. And through rough country. Like we were on trails occasionally, but mainly just following dogs, And so just being there that week with Ty is when I really heard the full story of his really transformation. That's a good word to use to describe it. From the way he used to train, which he grew up in this training family. And his dad was a mule and horse trainer. And the cowboy way of breaking a horse or mule is just that. Just go grab a wild Mustang off of the range, rope it, put it in a corral, catch it, put a saddle on it, get on it, and just buck it out. I mean, that's an exaggerated, shortened version, but I mean, that's kind of what the cowboy way was. And that's the way a lot of horse training, mule training was done for generations, and still is done by many people. And it does work. That's the thing, is that it actually does produce an animal that you can ride, and that can be safe. But these guys practicing natural horsemanship started coming around, and it's not like one person just discovered this. Like, it wasn't Buck Brannaman just all on his own. He was one that became really famous for it and well known. Pat Pirelli, Ray Hunt, the Dorrance brothers, many others. I mean, I'm not even qualified to start name dropping these names, but these are the people that started this natural horsemanship stuff, where you actually started to try to understand the way a horse or a mule thought, as opposed to just inflicting, kind of your will on this animal. It was really wild. We watched that
when the kids were little.
documentary.
Yeah, yeah, loved that documentary. It's quite moving.
It is the Buck documentary.
And that was before we had mules. I mean, that
Yes.
was before we were equine people, and at that time we watched it, and it was very moving.
Anybody could watch it,
Yeah.
and it would be massively interesting.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Have you ever watched it, Michael?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you watched it, Josh?
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yep.
Buck Brannaman.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, what stood out to y'all in the episode? So I was in it deep, neck deep with Tai. What stood out to y'all listening to it, just cold turkey? Who will go first?
Ladies first.
We're all looking at Misty.
Bear's got something.
I can go first.
Okay.
I like this episode a lot because, as many people know, I've been working with Slow Trap, and he's been the first mule that I've ever trained. But I trained him using the natural horsemanship. I went over to Elvis Middleton's,
Yeah.
and he kind of showed me the ropes on that, pressure and release, kind of learned the fundamental principles of it. And then I trained Slow Trap this summer and could really see really kind of saw that unfold, like what it really looks like. And the biggest thing that I noticed was what Tai was saying was that you can't ask that mule to be something that you're not. And it really made sense to me after training Slow Trap that, like, if, when a lot of my flaws would reflect in his behavior pretty much.
Shaggy hair.
Yeah. He does need a haircut right now.
So does his partner Bear.
But I really like the podcast because it kind of displayed a lot of those principles, and I think they're really powerful principles just in life.
Yeah.
Like, after training Slow Trap, I kind of looked at the way that I did everything differently. Like, I looked at the way that I made bows differently. I mean, I saw that, like, my bows that I was making in a lot of ways were a reflection of me as a craftsman. Like, if I was taking shortcuts, that bow was going to take shortcuts, and it was, wasn't going to perform the way it needed to. And then it just kind of like rippled out through all the areas of my life. But I really liked the episode because it's a good way, like, you can really understand it with the mules whenever you're training an animal. But that principle kind of can ripple all through your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, and I think that's what stood out about even when we watched the Buck film a long time ago, is this whole idea that you can't ask people to do what to become who you've not become, and I think as a parent that is a super important concept. I'm an educator, in education. You can apply that principle. You can really apply it. You can apply it anywhere, and I think that's what was really meaningful to me. You and I talked about this whenever you came back, and Izzy was the first, maybe the first or second mule you ever trained.
The first one I fully trained.
Yeah, and she's sassy.
She's sassy.
She's sassy, and I think that probably is a reflection of, Clay's a little sassy.
It's true.
But not even that you were probably a little shorter with Izzy. It's kind of interesting
100%.
watching you train banjo, watching Izzy, watching Bear train, work with banjo and work with Slow Trap. Slow Trap, we joke around that he's practically a dog. Like, he'll come to a whistle. He's pretty funny as a mule. He's not
He's super gentle,
super
laid
gentle,
back,
super laid back. Very answers to his name.
kind of like Bear.
Kind of, yeah. And it's just kind of interesting, and it brings up. I just thought the podcast brought up a lot of, bigger ideas. That whole thing of you have to change, you have to transform to get the people around you to transform, the people that you're leading to transform. And I think that was such a big principle inside of parenting. Like, you can't ask your kids to be well behaved.
Well, I think
if you're angry and all that. But I also think there's the podcast did something else I thought was kind of interesting that I wasn't expecting, and that was the part about just kind of putting away the ways that you're maybe the past,
right,
coming into new ways of doing things, and and I think that those two things can merge really well, even inside of our lives. Like, there would be things that we would have done in the past that we wouldn't do anymore.
Right.
I mean, I think it's a good podcast to think about those things.
So this book, I talked about this book, and I didn't really mention the significance that it had in the industry, but this book, Evidence-Based Horsemanship, I believe I've got it right here. Where is it? I've got it somewhere. Here it is. Oh, stepped on myself. This book right here, Evidence-Based Horsemanship. Before I ever had mules, I read that book. A guy just mentioned it and was like, "Hey, you should read it," and I did. And a whole premise of it was the way that the equine industry has been training animals is just not the right way. And so you're going to have to going back to that one quote about just because, it's been done this way for
50 years.
For 50 years doesn't negate that it could be done wrong for 50 years. And I could talk about that book. I could talk about that book forever. But the thing that I remember from this is that humans look at something and we assume that it thinks like us. And this neuroscientist talks about how a horse or mule doesn't have a place in his brain to like you or dislike you, like I like or dislike Josh. Like and they actually talk about the brain science of a horse and a mule have these huge brains, but most of it is for control of actual physical elements of the body, to control all these muscles. Like, you need a bigger hard drive to be able to control 1,200 pounds of muscle. And the frontal lobe of the horse or the mule is very small. And a human frontal lobe is very big. And all the things that make us human, that, like our ability to reason, our ability to love, our ability to think about spiritual things, like, to me, like the breath of God that makes us human, like where that stuff happens, a lot of it is registered in the frontal lobe of a human, and a horse just basically doesn't have one, or it has a small one. And so when you go out in the pasture, like a common thing in the equine world would be like, "Oh, that horse doesn't like me."
Right.
And basically this book is like, that horse doesn't have an option in its brain to like you or dislike you. What he is focused on is security, leadership. I mean, an equine animal has one question to answer when you walk up to it. And it's the only language that it knows is who's in charge. It's like if the simplicity of my operating capacity as a human, it was just one thing. I would walk up to every person I met and I would go, "Who's in charge, you or me? Who's in charge, you or me?" Like, that's the only question I have.
Right.
And I mean, in a way, that's the way an equine animal is. And when you set the tone for you being the leader, it's fine with that. But if you don't answer that question, you're going to have problems. And then obviously every animal's a little bit different. Some of them are going to be harder, but this book dispels a ton of myths about training. And this is not all about natural horsemanship, but it kind of bleeds into what Branneman and all these guys were talking about. But in you talking about Izzy, this first mule that I trained.
Yeah.
my insecurity as a trainer translated into me being really harsh with her. Not like abusive,
Right.
but just harsh. Like when she didn't do what I wanted, honestly, I was intimidated by that. And so rather than like finding a better way, or a better way to ask it a question, essentially in training, you're asking an animal a question. You're saying, will you turn to the right? Will you turn to the left? Will you follow my leadership? And basically, my intimidation with not really understanding the animals when it wouldn't do what I wanted, I would just come in harder with the same question. And finally, it would do it. But my intensity would rise so much, so would hers, and all of a sudden you had this like massive tension. And to this day, Izzy's like that. Part of it's probably just her nature, but part of it absolutely goes back to her training.
Yeah.
And she's become a mule that I love and can do anything on the world on. But your animal reflects what you put out.
Yeah.
And what I take away from it, what I've learned inside of training an animal is this, the energy that we put out as people. And I don't mean, sometimes using that phraseology might sound like something weird or something. I'm not talking about something weird. I'm literally talking about the energy that we put out.
Right.
Just with our personality,
Right.
The way we speak, our blood pressure, like being high or low. I mean, affects people around us.
Oh yeah.
And Ty talked about being flat. He actually, I can't remember if on this episode he did or not, but man, when you're around an equine animal, it's like being able to just like drop your blood pressure, just drop your expectations, and it helps so much.
Yeah.
But I think we can't ask an animal to be something that you're not.
Yeah.
Can't yell at your kids and tell them to calm down while you yourself are yelling at your kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not calm.
Well, it makes me think a lot. We talk with new teachers a lot about control because like you were describing yourself with Izzy, control is like a new teacher is insecure. They don't. I mean, it's the scariest thing you've ever done is stand up in front of a group of teenagers or preschoolers and ask them to do what you. I mean, it's just terrifying, and because you don't know if they're going to do it or not, and that. They feel it. They know it. They know that you are, and your tendency is to grasp for greater control in those moments. It's like I feel insecure, and so I'm gonna try to hold this tighter. I'm gonna be more, and I'll get it. And it just never works. It never works. The kids respond to the person who's
Certainty, confidence.
Yeah, confidence, certainty. And also just what you're putting on them. Like they don't, your respect for them.
Yeah.
I mean, your respect for them, it's like, yeah, sometimes you just need law and order, but sometimes you just need to give them a voice, let them hear what they have to say. You don't need to just control every single thing. And so, yeah, sometimes if you put that on them, if your control and your desire to manage them, if you put that on them, they're going to buck against that. Mm-hmm. You have to kind of respect who they are and respect that this is their space as well. And let's all... Mm-hmm. Let's hear what you've got to say.
Yeah, I thought that point, because Ty made that same point. He said they can see, they know when you know, and they know when you don't.
And that's the truth.
Yeah, whatever you're riding a mule, if you give it anything, it'll take everything.
Yeah.
Because it just, like if you put someone who, like whenever I first started riding mules, I wasn't too strict on what whenever they'd eat grass or something. And then throughout the ride, they'd start eating more and more and more. And then you'd kind of lose control of them because they'd want to stop every time.
Yeah.
They see grass to eat.
Right.
I thought that was an interesting point.
Yes. Yeah, that was good. Michael, what stood out to you?
The leadership part of it stood out to me. I mean, I've seen it within companies where, whoever's running it, if they're not the best to work for, not the best to be around, say they're a screamer, maybe they're not very confident, so they just, just jump up and down to try to get their point across. That it trickles down to everybody around them.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about with mules? Did you there wasn't any real specific mule training stuff. Like we weren't really like trying to teach people how to train a mule necessarily. But I don't know. Did you hear anything that stood out to you?
Well, I listened to he said, make the right thing easy and the wrong thing hard.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit like, I don't completely understand that. Like, I get making the right thing easy.
Yeah.
But if you walk up and you're wanting your mule to jump up on that rock and you sit there and spin it in circles, go around the rock 500 times, I mean, an hour later, making that right thing easy would be me putting the spurs in its ribs until it gets up on that rock.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know I have no idea what he's trying to say there. Like, what would the wrong thing?
Well, here's the best example that I've got. And Tai, if he were here, I have no doubt he could give us many great examples. But like he told me one time that he had a mule. I can't remember the exact scenario. Forgive me, Tai. But like there was a mule that was worried about going through a gate. And every time they got to the gate, the mule would start to get kind of watchy and wanting to not go through it. And so he started riding like big circles around the arena. And every time he would get to the gate, he would try to stop to let the mule rest in the zone that it was nervous. And if it was nervous and uneasy, he'd just ride it again. And basically the right thing to do was to be confident and go through the gate. And he made it hard everywhere else but the gate. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That's may not be exactly what he did, but that would be one example of it. And it is a lot easier to visualize making the right thing easy. And that's one of the biggest thing with riding these animals is, and I make this mistake probably every time I ride, but you can tell for sure when somebody's doesn't know what they're doing. They ask the mule to do something that the mule is not going to do. And then the mule doesn't do it. And then the mule is like, well, this guy's not in charge. Mm-hmm. Because he told me to do that. I didn't do it. And now we're just riding up the trail.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's when I ride with new people, I'm just like, whatever you ask it to do, make sure it does it. From small things to just going around the tree, to backing up, to stopping, to going into a trot or just whatever. Just make sure that the commands that you give are clear and that you make the animal follow through with what you've asked it to do. And it's not hard on it, but like Bear said, you put a kid on even a good mule. You can put a kid on a $15,000 mule, and in 2 hours, in 20 minutes, that mule might just be wandering around doing what it wanted to do. I mean, just because they're very perceptive of a mule will elevate and lower to the skill of the rider.
Right.
I've heard a lot of mule guys say that when you're selling a mule, you're like, I mean, you got to make sure the person that's riding the mule knows what's going on, you know, and so, but anything else stand out to you, Michael? Or Josh?
Sure something did.
Well, I when I listened to it, I had a great appreciation for just Ty's process into the whole thing. You know, watching his dad break horses the cowboy way, and I have really great appreciation for someone who can watch that and not condemn it, but also watch that and then find ways to do it better. Like as a father, you know, I look back and I made some boneheaded mistakes raising my kids, and I want my kids. You know, I think there's a lot of people who are like, I want my kids to raise their kids like I did. I want my kids to do it better than I did. And I think Tai was able to say, hey, that worked for a time, but there's a better way, and not condemn that, but be able to just take these new things that he observed and that he learned. I appreciate how he applied himself to learning something different, something that other people hadn't done in the past, and became successful with it. I mean, that's the thing that makes people stand out. That I think that really shows the character of who Tai is. And I think that's the thing that really stood out to me the most.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard thing to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess there's some version of fatherhood and sonhood or just parents where, you know, there's some people out there that would say, oh, I knew for sure I was not going to do things like my mom and dad did.
Right.
I mean, there's that version. But it's not even about father and son. It's more about what's the cultural norm for the way things are done. And it could be in electrical work, it could be in training mules, it could be in hunting, it could be in business, it could be, but just to be able to have enough overarching perspective to see that something's being done like completely the wrong way and be able to transform to something. To me, that's what always appealed to me about natural horsemanship, is that it was just like so different. And it was kind of cool though to see Tai and to see him. He was a bronc rider before, which being a bronc rider literally is you're purposefully getting onto the back of an untrained animal,
Right.
and bucking with it just because it's fun.
Yeah.
And I know when I was making videos about training mules 9 years ago, a bucking mule video does better than a non-bucking mule video. And so I trained Izzy in my version, you know, just the best way I knew how, but it was very heavily influenced by several of these natural horsemanship guys. And she never bucked. I mean, you know, when it finally came to get on her, you know, I remember I did this countdown on YouTube. Oh, it was good, Michael. Where I was like, okay, I've trained her. Today I'm getting on her for the first time. And I did this countdown 10, 9, 8. And I'm, you know, like holding on to the saddle and kind of shaking the saddle and slapping her on the back, letting her know I'm about to get on.
Right.
And, you know, the viewer is just thinking, oh, this sucker's just going to buck him off when he gets on there. And, you know, I throw my leg over and she just kind of sits there, does nothing, won't even move. And I get off. And I mean, it's like,
Probably didn't go viral.
it did, though. It's one of the best videos on the former Bear Hunting magazine, now Bear Grease channel. Yeah, it got multiple millions of views, actually. But Bear kind of ran into the same thing. He was making some videos training Slow Trap, and Slow Trap did the exact same thing. So, I mean, Tai was saying, yeah, it's kind of fun when they buck.
Yeah.
But if you're buying an animal from somebody, I wouldn't want to buy one that they bucked out.
No.
I would want to buy one that never bucked a kick in his life, you know. But who trained Willard?
Warren Campbell owned him. That's who I bought him from.
Yep.
And I believe he took him to an Amish guy to get him started, and then Warren rode him.
Okay.
He rode him a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, that's where he got his name, Willard, from Amish.
Oh, the Amish called him Willard?
Warren told me he went to tie the mule up at the Amish guy's place, and he was talking to the guy, and the son, the Amish son, come riding his bike down the driveway, stopped and skid, you know, turned his bike real sharp right there by the mule, and the guy was like, "Now, Willard, you can't be doing that." Yeah.
And so
Warren would tell the story better, but I believe that's
so
what happened.
Warren was like, this mule's name is Willard.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Well, it's a good name.
It is a good name.
It is.
Willard
Yeah,
the Mule.
it is.
Well, this I hope these episodes have been entertaining for people that aren't into equine animals. I know before I was into equine animals,
Yeah.
I was interested
Yeah.
and horses and mules just kind of from a spectator position, you know.
Right.
And but no, Tai Evans, it just salt of the earth guy, just fantastic guy. And we're going to try to get him to come to Northwest Arkansas and do a clinic.
Oh, that'd be fun.
He can't do it this year. He's already booked up, but potentially in 27.
Nice.
He said he would do it.
So let me ask you this: whenever he's talking about making a bridal mule, I mean, his level of commitment 6 to 8 years.
Yes.
What I mean, I don't know what a bridal horse or bridal mule is, but
Yeah.
I mean that's a lot of time in one animal.
I mean, I probably know just a touch more than you because we talked about it while we were in Utah. But that term, a bridal horse, actually means something. It's a category of training for a horse that basically just it's a series. You go from different bits. You go from like this bit,
A hack.
to this bit,
I think it's a hack to a snaffle to a solid.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
something like that. It's a progression. And then, but by the time one is a bridal mule, that it's just the Cadillac of all animals in terms of control, safety, and very few people make bridal mules today. You know that are actually like finishing them out to that, and that's what he's trying to do. And not everybody wants a bridal mule.
It's a highly trained, responsive rancher show horse, typically developed over several years using the traditional vaquero method. The extensive process involves transitioning through different stages of headgear, results in a finely tuned animal that can be ridden with subtle cues and often with one hand on a loose rein. The ultimate goal is a reliable partner for ranch work and competition, capable of complex maneuvers with minimal guidance. Also, it could be referring to bridal mule, a bridal horse, a horse used in weddings. But I think he's talking about...
I don't think that's what he's talking about.
Those were the two options I got.
Are those the mules that are selling
call
for
Ty
like
and clarify?
$90,000?
No.
What mules are selling for $90,000?
Well, okay. There was a mule at Chrome in the Canyon. So McLean Meekum and his son Hunter are the ones who put on that Chrome in the Canyon sale in Bryce Canyon, Utah. And last year they had a mule sale for $90,000. And what I know about the deal is that there were two people that just really wanted that mule.
Okay.
I mean, the mule was a fantastic mule, but I think it's public knowledge that the mule was sold for way less than that, like a year before at a different sale, or 2 years before. Okay. So the mule was super gentle, super well trained, in the prime of its life. It was a curly haired mule. There's some cross of a mule where they get a little curl in their hair, which is unique. It's not unheard of. And just two people got in a bidding war and they had plenty of money.
Values in the eye of the beholder.
So, but that, I don't want to take anything away from that mule. The mules that are selling for every mule sale has a different thing. Like, and it's what I've learned is that every mule sale has a different specialty. And I'm a little bit afraid to say what those are because I'm not sure if we say that out loud or not.
Oh.
Do you think we should talk about, speaking of curly hair, should we talk about Clay's hair?
Oh. Should we talk about Bear's hair?
We've been talking about my hair, but your hair is out of control, I would say.
It is a little, I mean, it's been a lot of years since we've seen you with that much hair.
What do you think I should do, Josh? Just let her go or cut it?
I'm a bit torn. You know, I like to keep my hair pretty close cropped, but I also don't have a head of hair like that, you know,
Yeah.
so maybe like
I'm just caught
on
in the
outside-
crosshairs of indecision.
Well, I think on the outside I would be like, yeah, you definitely need to get your hair cut and be respectable, but maybe on the inside I think, man, if I had hair like that, I'd probably grow it out.
Okay.
No, I
just do
think
what
he
Misty
keeps-
says.
Yeah, he keeps the hair.
Keeps the hair. You want him to
it.
keep the hair?
Hey, there's a day
Surprising.
in Clay's life where he's not going to have that beautiful frock of hair.
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know. That dude's got some thick
Michael
hair.
Lanier met me on the street the other day in Prairie Grove. We just randomly were walking down the street in downtown Prairie Grove, Arkansas,
Yeah.
and Michael was there. We didn't know. And I'm pretty sure the first thing he said to me was, "You need a haircut."
We were right outside the barber shop.
You were
Yeah.
going to get your haircut. And see, when my Jedi Master says that, I have to kind of take it into consideration. But
Nah.
Michael
Misty, at
would
what
be the
point-
guy that would say, "Get a haircut, Clay."
At what point, like, are you like, okay, Clay, that's enough?
I don't know. I'll know it when we get there. I mean, he's got some great hair. I've got a vision for it right now. I think it is giving some, nostalgic vibes. This is kind of what Clay's hair looked
Yeah.
like, except for where all the gray is. It was frost tips,
Yep.
in the 90s when we were dating. So maybe there's some of that there.
I'm also going to the Arctic here
Yeah.
in a couple of months. Well, less than in a month and a half.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, a lot of hair does keeps you warm.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. We'll just see. We'll see what happens. Clay's hair has historically grown out rather than down. And so there's a point where if it gets far enough out, it's like let's do something. But right now I think I'm pleased with what I see.
Wow, we're getting a real window into your marriage here.
What more can be said? What more can be said?
I'm just gonna let my mustache go then.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Yeah.
Man, how's it felt being in the Tecovas hot seat?
Great.
Yeah, man. I mean, you had to nail down the price on your mule.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hey, and thanks for coming here. We are going to give you, you're going to get to pick out a new pair of Tacovas. So there's a store here in Northwest Arkansas, and I've got a box of Tacovas right here. But we're going to let you pick out the kind of boots you want. And I had to talk Michael into coming.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to come. And I was like, come on, man. You
Yep.
got to come. You got to come. Bring Willard. We'll get you a pair of Tacovas. And so he was,
He was like, you had me at Tecovas.
yeah.
I need a new pair of boots. I do.
Yeah. What kind are you going to get?
Just a pair of leather boots.
Just like cowboy boots?
Yeah.
Like for just, okay. Yeah.
They got some great styles.
All right,
Well,
so
thank you,
there's
Tecovas.
Thank you.
Yes. There's your gift certificate right there. There it is. Your Tacovas boots. And
I think we're gonna have to work on that handoff of the box a little bit. That needs to look better.
okay, great. Well, man, I'm excited about this episode. It's been good, and don't forget about the Bear Grease YouTube channel. It's not launched yet. It's going to launch
Coming.
in mid-February, but we're going to go ahead and start talking about it. Let me
DVD.
go ahead and say one more thing. I'm going to open up the next render talking about this. If I've seemed a little hazy-eyed and distant the last 2.5 years,
Ew.
it's possible because I've been working on a book for the last 2.5 years, behind the scenes, in the dark
In your
corners,
spare time?
in the dark corners of this office when no one's watching. I've been writing a book. On February the 1st, the manuscript for that book is due. The original manuscript, and so me and my team, we will be submitting a basically 90,000 word manuscript of the book American Bear, which is still over a year from being able to be purchased, but I'm just so excited
exciting.
about it. I really am. Like, I might just quit.
Life.
Not
Just
live.
everything.
I might just retire after the book's out.
No.
Bear can take over.
Just trade mules, and
I like it.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not gonna do that.
I'm excited about the book. I've gotten to see a little bit of a window into it, and folks, it's going to be good.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
there's never been I can say with certainty, and not with any kind of sense of pride, but there's just not ever been a book written about this.
Yeah.
Like this. It's about the American black bear, but it's an untold story. Nobody's ever told it like this. So I'm excited.
It'll fly off the shelves. I just know it will.
Well, there will come a day when I petition those who listen to Bear Grease to
Yeah, exactly.
It's like all those years. Come help me buy this book.
Yeah.
So start saving up your pennies, because in 2027, a year from now,
To buy a book.
yeah, start saving up your pennies. Or if you've got more money than that and want a mule, Josh at the MeatEater.com.
Yep.
Michael would take 15 grand for the mule, but you're gonna have to come to Arkansas and pick it up and ride it. Serious inquiries only.
No traders.
Yeah, no traders.
I'd prefer him not to
We
be
ain't
a trader.
trading you nothing but greenbacks. American
Benjamins.
greenbacks.
Straight up Benjamins.
Yeah, and no tire kickers.
That's right, because I'm going to be fielding all the tire kickers.
That's
so
pretty awesome.
I think I'm going to need a
You got you a
cut.
pair of Tecovas and a dealer.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Keep the wild places wild, because that's where the bears live.